It was all about football yesterday. It's all about baseball today here at historic Palm Springs Stadium as we bring you the second round of the California Winter League playoffs in the 2022 season. Josh Sperber here with Mitch Flesner, and we've got a couple of teams that are on a hot end to the season. The Alberta Grizzly coming off an upset victory against the Jacks, and of course the top-seeded British Columbia Bombers, who've won 9 straight games to finish off this season.
Yeah, we have a good one today. It's the battle between probably the best team out here. They are the #1 seed in the British Columbia Bombers, and they've got their ace on the bump today in Luke Drummond. And they're facing off against a scrappy team in the Grizzly. They are going to claw for every run. They're going to make you work, and they're going to make you earn it. So I think we have a good one here today, especially with Arturo Monroy, who's on the hill for the Grizzly as well. He's been sneaky good himself. I think we're going to have a really good ball game as long as both teams keep it clean on the infield and the outfield defensively. I think this could go down to the wire.
It really could, and talk about down to the wire and just the scrappiness of the Grizzly team. No one has been involved in more walk-off wins than the Grizzly. They just fight till the end. They're going to have to do that against the big right-hander Drummond.
Yeah, it's going to take Arturo Monroy limiting the crooked number of innings for the Bombers. We know how deadly their lineup is top to bottom, so if he can keep them in the game with zeros on the board consistently, or just one run at a time, they might have a chance in this game.
And Luke Drummond, the 6'4", 240-pound right-hander out of Temple Terrace, Florida, throws the first pitch into Nick Israel for strike one. So we are underway in the semifinals here at the California Winter League. As Drummond misses low, count evens at 1-1. We'll take you through the lineups for the visitors. The Alberta Grizzly, the 5th seed in this California Winter League playoff, a record of 6-9-1. As Israel fouls this back, count is now 1-2. Israel, the leadoff man, will be playing shortstop. Christian Busby batting behind him out in center field as Drummond kicks and deals and gets Israel to swing and miss at strike 3. So first batter is down on strikes to bring up the center fielder Christian Busby. And he'll be followed up by Sean Lawler at the DH spot, batting
for the Grizzly.
Man for
center fielder,
left field.
number 21.
Batting 5th. Travis Tanaka out at 3rd and batting 6th. Carter Davis is behind the plate for the Grizzly, and he bats 7th. Brandon Yeba batting 8th and playing second base, and Anthony McDougal rounds out the order in right field as another breaking ball comes in by Drummond for strike 1 against Busby. Busby been playing the corner outfield, but showed a great glove, and he's been moved out to center as he fouls this one away, count 0-2. As now we're going to take a look at the defensive alignment for the Bombers. From left to right in the outfield, Griffin Schneider, Yusei Saraoka in center, Blake Freeman out in right field. And we'll give the infield after this pitch. 0-2, and that hits him right on the front shoulder of Christian Busby. And we have our first base runner of the contest via hit by pitch. Busby will head over to first base where Jacob Cruz is waiting for Bradley O'Neill. Second base, Brad is shortstop, and field is Felix Aberrett is the battery mate of Luke Drummond, who comes in today. 43 strikeouts in 28 innings pitched. That leads the league. Does have a save that he earned into that last game, the Commissioner's Cup on Saturday. 3-0 record, 1.75 ERA, and he has been nothing short of dominant in this Cal Winter League season, Mitch.
Yeah, he's been exceptional all season long. He pounds his own. Here early on, though, he looks like he's sailing the fastball a little high in the zone, so he's going to try to work a little bit more downhill as we progress along here in the early goings to try and get that ball in that good downward plane that we're so used to seeing from him, but he does that explosive fastball that comes out of the hand and that pretty quick arm motion, so gets on the hitters quick, but he just needs to pump strikes.
1-1 pitch. Busby thought about it and said he'll wait at first as Lawler lost that high into left center field. The hat comes off of Taraoka, but he makes the grab for the second out.
Pretty good piece there from Lawler, just a little bit under it. I don't think he got all of the barrel. But yeah, Busby on at first. He's a threat to run. With 0-2 down, they're going to try to put him in scoring position. Russ coming up.
DC Russ
with 5 stolen bases, and that's tied for the team lead with shortstop Daisuke Fukuda. And he's got DC Russ, the cleanup man, left fielder, and a pitcher, as he starts things off with ball one, looking at the slider from Drummond. DC Russ, a mainstay in this Grizzly lineup, 7 for 34, second most at bats on the team as he lifts this out in the left field, and that just clips the foul line. Fair territory for him. DC Russ speeding into second base with a double, and they put the runners in scoring position there as Christian Busby stands on third. DC Russ has the first hit of the ball game with 2 away.
And here we go with Cole Rankin coming to bat here. He's been one of the better hitters all season long.
First baseman.
Not a good average to show for it, but as of late, he's been hitting the ball pretty hard, just right at guys. So he's been a pretty clutch hitter at times, so we'll see if they can get on the board here early.
2 of his 6 hits have gone for extra bases as he swings and misses at strike one. 7 RBIs as well, so when he comes to the plate, he does damage. He is tied for third with 3 other players with 7 RBIs on the team. Fastball misses high, count 1-1.
Yeah, and he's missing up with that fastball. He's got to really work to get that long stride and get that arm well out in front on that landing spot to work downhill.
Better to miss up than over the plate, which Drummond has not done yet, as Rankin lofts it high in the air out to straightaway left field. Taking a couple steps to his right is Griffin Schneider to make a 2-handed grab for the first out. So, 2 runners stranded in scoring position for the Grizzly. 1 hit, and no runs have come across. Now the Bombers will get their first cuts at the bottom of the first inning.
You say
The Grizzly threaten, but the top-seeded Bombers with their ace on the hill, able to quell the damage and leave the first without any runs allowed. And now they'll come up to plate to try and do a little more against Arturo Monroy as he sends the breaking ball low to Yusei Teraoka, count 1-0. Monroy 0 for 2 on the season in 6 starts, 7 appearances, 4.98 ERA, but does average about a strikeout an inning as Teraoka grounds this ball to the second baseman Yeva, who fields and fires to first base for the first down. A routine play for the Grizzly to start off the bottom of the first inning. We'll take a look at the lineups for the Bombers. You saw Yusei Teraoka out in the center. He bat first. Clifford Proud back up to the higher part of the order. He's back second, short. Blake Freeman, the number 3 hitter, playing out in right field. Griffin Schneider cleaning up and playing in left. Jacob Cruz back at first base is right on the noggin. Clifford Pratt hit by a pitch, the first one he sees from Monroy. No trainers coming out to the field, fortunately, but Pratt will head to first base. Where Jacob Cruz is playing for the Bombers. And
Now batting for the Bombers, right fielder, number 16,
that's behind
Blake Freeman.
behind the plate. Andrew Caulfield, the third baseman, is batting seventh. Malcolm Smith will serve as the DH for his second time all season. He's batting eighth. As the fastball misses upstairs, count 1-1 to Blake, 1-0 to Blake Freeman. And the number 9 hitter is Bradley O'Neill for the Bombers. He is playing second base. Monroy taking a look over at Pratt on first base, where Cole Rankin is standing for the Grizzly. Brandon Yeva at second as Monroy misses upstairs again. Count 2-0. Nick Israel playing short for the Grizzly. Travis Tanaka at third. And Carter Davis, the battery mate of Arturo Monroy. The outfield from left to right is D.C. Russ, Christian Busby in center, and Anthony McDougal in right. As that is grounded right through the hole into right field. For the Bombers' first hit of the game, Pratt is speeding around second base, and the throw is cut off by Nick Israel. He's going from third. A nice throw from Anthony McDougal, but it is a one-out single for Blake Freeman, and the Bombers have runners on the corners.
And he really hit that ball hard, that bat head out on it. Monroy, a guy that will tend to walk a lot of guys. He issues a lot of free passes. In his 26 2/3 innings of work coming into this one, 18 walks issued. So he's going to have to limit that today against this high-power offense from the Bombers. If he continues to get free passes like they hit Batter and Pratt, they are going to do some damage and make it hurt.
And the breaking ball misses inside to Schneider, count 0-1, and this is the part of that Bombers lineup that can make it hurt, Mitch. Griffin Schneider has been so good all season with 3 triples, 3 doubles, as that one bounces behind Carter Davis, and that's going to score a run. We're going to give Freeman a stolen base on second as he was already at the bag on the wild pitch, and scoring is Clifford Pratt, so the Bombers take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and they just can't afford to make these kinds of mistakes. They have to play clean, sound baseball, and Monroy there with the curveball just releasing it too far out in front and spiking it in the dirt. And they're going to need some help defensively here and try to get out of this early on and get back in the dugout.
And it's always the breaking balls that you're worried about hitting in the dirt. That one is lifted foul by Griffin Schneider, landing in the stands, count 1-2. And I feel like the curveball is one of the more common pitches that can end up going wild. As you saw from Monroy there, has that drop to it. As Davis able to spear that one, knocks it in front of him. Count evens up at 2-2.
Absolutely. It's usually the curveball, and more often than not, too, it's usually the changeup, just because, guys, it's the toughest pitch to grip. And a lot of times when you see the ball spiked, it's usually the changeup, but also the curveball, one to look out for.
2-2 pitch, wave and a whiff, strike 3, but it's dropped by Carter Davis. He'll pick it up with his throwing hand and fire it to Rankin at first. And a sneaky move by Blake Freeman, moving on to third on the drop third strike. So there is 2 away, but a runner on third for the dangerous Jacob Cruz.
Good heads-up baseball there by Blake Freeman. Understanding that he's got an open lane there to third. The throw going down to first, and Rankin just not enough time. Good jump by Freeman to put himself in a good spot on a possible next wild pitch should Monroy throw one in the dirt.
Jacob Cruz may not let that happen. A free swinger, aggressive mindset on the plate as the fastball misses outside, 1-0. And a guy who leads the league in home runs. 5 big flies on the year, 5 doubles as well. And that makes up 10 of his team-leading 16 hits on the year. Cruz has truly been one of the best hitters in the Cal Winter League this season.
Yeah, he really has been, and everything that he hits has been hard. Really likes to go to the pull side, so we'll see if Monroy can put it out further on the plate and try to make him go the other way. That's probably your best bet at having success against him, because when you come middle or middle in, he's going to make you pay.
With a slight shift on the infield, particularly on that right side, Brandon Yeva playing about halfway between the second and first base bags. A 3-0 count to Cruz. He wanted that one, but he swings and misses for strike 1. Cruz, a guy who will get frustrated with himself if he doesn't hit the ball out, really. He's just so passionate about the game. and expects a lot of himself. 3-run from Monroy, misses outside for ball 4, and Davis had to dive to take that one. So Cruz on first base with a 2-out walk to bring up Felix Aberret.
And we're already seeing the free passes. It's Clifford Pratt, the second batter, now a walk to Cruz. Really got to bear down and do whatever he has to do to really find the strike zone and eliminate the free passes.
And so a walk and hit by pitch already as Aberret bounces that one foul. Nice catch by, looks like Keyshawn Clark, who's sitting outside the dugout, made a one-handed grab. 0-1 the count to Aberret. Runners on the corners, 2 away. 1 run already home for the Bombers as Davis spears another low pitch from Monroy. Count evens up at 1-1. Aberret, another guy, slower start to the season, and his batting numbers don't tell you how hard he hits the ball. He just absolutely pummels the baseball, and right as I say something, he just shots that foul.
Right on cue. Couldn't have been perfectly timed more. This guy, usually when you're barreling up the ball, obviously it leads to a higher batting average and more extra base hits. And for whatever reason, Aberret has just been a little bit unlucky all winter long, but he's trying to change that luck here.
1-2, bounced foul once again. 2 straight balls right down that right field line. Or left field line, excuse me, and it's still 1-2. We talked about Cruz as a guy who likes to go to his pull side. Aberret, really the same kind of mindset as a hitter, just he absolutely rockets the baseball. The 1-2. Drilled down the left field line, right on cue again, but another foul ball from Aberret. He has sent the last 3 into foul territory, keeping the count at 1-2.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this before. He definitely leads the league in foul ball home runs.
Yeah,
100% on that.
not even a debate. 1-2 again. Inside, Davis sliding to his left to make that play and keep the ball out in front of him. Possibly a run-saving grab behind the plate as it's 2-2.
And Aberret really making Monroy work here. He's already kind of laboring here in the first.
The 2-2. This is low. Now fills up at 3-2. And that's something we've seen a lot of from Aberret when he's not scorching the ball off the bat. He's very patient in the box and knows just to look for his pitches. Payoff pitch coming from Monroy, taking a look at the runner on third. Cruz is running on the pitch, and it's going to pay off. A base hit for Felix Aberret. That's going to be an RBI single into left field. Cruz will stay on second. Aberret to first, and it's 2-0 Bombers.
That ball was absolutely blistered into left field there from Aberret. He was flirting with those foul balls, really out in front on everything. That time he keeps his weight back just a hair. It goes off for him. And a line drive single. That ball was ripped into left field.
And just another rocket off the bat of Felix Aberret. An RBI for him. That is number 14 on the season as that one is grounded right past the shortstop in Nick Israel. Motoring around third is Cruz. Throw cut off by Tanaka. And another base hit. It's going to be an RBI for Andrew Caulfield. That's giving him 9 on the season, tying him with Jacob Cruz for the team's hit lead. And it's 3-0
The Bombers, they love giving up runs in the first game. It's so deflating for the other teams. The Grizzly here can rebound and try to keep their spirits up, although it's very difficult when you're already down by 3 runs. But it's going to be necessary if they want to come back in this game.
2-out rally has been the MO of the Bombers, particularly on this big 9-game win streak, and their 3 runs towards making that streak into double digits. As Malcolm Smith behind in the count 1-0, off this pitch high in the air into shallow right field. Coming on to it is the second baseman Yeva, who makes the one-handed grab, kind of reaching behind him for the final out. But the damage done for the Bombers. 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 runners left, and it's 3-0 after the first. So the Bombers put up 3 runs in the first. They have the early lead, as we've seen quite a lot of that in this season. And Travis Tanaka will lead off for the Grizzly this inning. They stranded 2 back in the first inning, so Tanaka, who leaves this slider outside, will try and start a rally for the Grizzly. 1-0 pitch in there for strike 1. Like another breaking ball catching the outside corner. Tanaka, 3rd on the Grizzly in batting average, 2nd in hits. He's 14 for 36 as that one misses high, count is 2-1. 4 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs. Tanaka quietly putting together a solid season for the Grizzly. 2-1. There is hit number 15. Tanaka tying Kreutzer for the team lead, and that's going to roll into the deep part of center field for extra bases. Travis Tanaka standing on second with a lead-off double. And another ball just scorched off the bat from him.
Yeah, and you said it best, Josh. He's been pretty quiet at the plate. He's made loud noise at the plate, but I guess quiet in the sense of you don't think of Tanaka being the guy to do all the damage. You think of more Nick Kreutzer and Porter and Carter Davis, but yeah, Tanaka right up there, and he's also been very versatile on the field, playing defense behind the plate. Here today, he's in the hot corner, so he is a solid all-around guy.
And a guy who's played in the outfield, in the infield, behind the plate. He's just about everywhere. First pitch missing, and the second pitch swinging and missing is Carter Davis, so the count is 1-1.
Try to plate this run here with Tanaka out in scoring position and nobody out. Good job by Tanaka to really set the tone here in this inning.
That one inside and low, count 2-1.
It's going to be crucial here for the Grizzly to see if they can't turn the lineup over and get some good production out of this bottom part. It's a tough task, obviously, facing off against this guy on the mound.
That one is a strike, catching the low part of the plate, so 2-2 the count to Carter Davis. Another guy who's quietly had a solid season, not as many plate appearances, playing in just his 12th game, but a .409 average, one of just 2 Grizzly players who are hitting over 400. That one misses outside to fill up the count, and 2 catchers could be on base to start things off for the Grizzly. Both Tanaka and Davis with good speed. Tanaka with 3 stolen bases already. Drummond taking a long look at Tanaka, dancing on second as Davis pokes at that one and fouls it off towards the Grizzly dugout. Count remains 3-2.
Working on a really good at-bat here, just trying to win it. Be pretty good if you could work a walk here. Try and quiet down Drummond, who usually does not walk anybody.
That one inside, and broadcasters jinx. 2 runners on base to lead off the inning. Carter Davis heading on to first with a free pass, and Tom Bates will come out and have a conversation with Luke Drummond.
Yeah, and that's huge right there. Again, Luke Drummond coming into this game, only 3 walks allowed. So if you can work a free pass, it's really going to get in his head. As somebody that typically does not do that, that's usually how things work, at least for pitchers on the mound. Once you walk that guy and you're not accustomed to it, all of a sudden you start getting a little uncomfortable. And it just feels like Drummond so far in this game, not totally comfortable with the fastball that we're so used to seeing him just power his own way out with.
So good on that heater all year. You're not seeing the zip that you usually see from it. The fastball that usually ranges into the high 80s and low 90s. But it's just not looking as strong as we've seen it so far this year. And now the Grizzly looking to take advantage. Brandon Yeba to the plate. Tanaka gets a look from Drummond, and Drummond pumps the fastball in. That looked like it had a lot more zip to it, and Yeba swinging and missing for strike 1. Yeba just 1 hit on the year, 21 at-bats, as that one misses high, ball 1. And he has walked 3 times, though.
He's played a solid defense, though. We've seen him already active at second base here in this game. The Grizzly came into this one second in team defense behind the Bombers.
That one just misses high. Count 2-1. And the Bombers, the leading team in pretty much all hitting categories, and defensively, they're just as strong. It's a big reason why they're the top seed in this playoff. 2-1 the count to Nieva, 2-1, nobody out. Drummond looks at Tanaka on second base. In the infield, he is awaiting the ground ball, but instead Nieva lofts it out of play. Count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, you think about the defense for the Bombers. You have Pratt at short, who has been real smooth over there. Cruz at first, who has a good glove digging out balls in the dirt. Good solid outfield with Taroka in center. He holds it down very well out there. Good range for him. Really good range all around for this defense.
And the defense, that double play depth right now. Cruz way off the bag at first base as that one misses outside, and another full count for Luke Drummond and the Bombers, this time to Brandon Nieva. And it's that fastball again, Mitch, that just missed on the outside corner.
Yeah, we're seeing some body language that we're not accustomed to either with Drummond. He's taking off the cap. He's trying to find his footing. Normally he's very comfortable, but you can tell not right so much today.
There's the fastball, bounced foul by Nieva. Count is now going to remain 3-2. And 2 straight at bats with 8 pitches for Luke Drummond as he's awaiting the 8th one here. Runners may go from the bases. They do not. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. It looks like he caught a piece of it, but Averett made the catch behind the plate, and that is a big first down for Luke Drummond.
Good solid fastball runs in the zone, and Nieva just looking to hang with it. He made a good at-bat and a good effort, good battle all the way around. In his case, that's probably a win, honestly. I know it's not the result you want, but you're making Drummond work. You're making him feel uncomfortable for the next guy in the order.
He has already thrown 20 pitches in this inning, and there's still 1 out at the plate, so tiring the pitcher out. Always something good at the plate as Averett keeps that low breaking ball in front of him. Count now 1-0 to Anthony McDougal. The right fielder played some time at third base, is the most at-bats of any player on the Grizzly, but just 3 hits in those 37 at-bats, 2 runs scored, a home run, and 3 RBI. That one misses, or just gets at the knees of McDougal. Excuse me. It looked like it missed a bit low on the breaking ball, but the count's even at 1-1. And McDougal really a power threat, but a penchant for striking out. And showing more of the power there as he lines that out to the right fielder in Blake Frieden, making the one-handed grab, and the Bombers defense showing up again 2 away after putting the first 2 guys on base.
Yeah, and McDougal socked that one into right, and just right at Freeman. If that ball gets down, it's probably right in the wall. It's probably a 2-run double, maybe even a triple for McDougal, but just right. Not drawing the lucky stick there.
2 hits so far for the Grizzly have been doubles. Israel sends the first pitch out into shallow center field. Taroka on the run, but he gets called off by the second baseman, and Bradley O'Neill uses 2 hands for safety. And after the Bombers put the first 2 on base, they take out the next 3. So the Grizzlies still scoreless here. The Bombers with 3-1 lead. They're heading into the bottom of the second. is here, the California Winter League. The Bombers escape an early jam and still maintain a 3-run lead. The first pitch to Bradley O'Neill hits him on the wrist. So Monroy hitting the second batter so far in this game, 3rd overall.
Now batting for the Bombers.
Base runner for the Bombers.
Number 3,
Can't afford to do that. That 9-hole spot, you're really banking on getting it out there, an easy one hopefully, but now you go back to the top with Taroka, who is always a solid at-bat. He's going to make you work, and you got the runner at first, and you're going to have to deal with that middle of the order coming up as well.
And Taroka has been one of the best leadoff hitters in the entire Cal Winter League this season. He did ground out to first in his first at bat as he takes the inside fastball, count 0-1. Taroka, 11 for 28 on the year, 393 is his batting average. He's not driven in a run just yet, really a guy who just gets on base and scores runs. He's got 8. That is 5th on the team. 1-1 the count to Taroka. And that one gets away from Carter Davis, but staying on first base is O'Neill. 2-1 the count. Brett Donady out there coaching first base for the Bombers. Typically their third baseman. Tom Faith assuming his position as the manager, coaching third. Is that one way over the head of Carter Davis, hitting the backstop, and onto second in the wild pitch goes Bradley O'Neill. And Monroy just seems to have lost his have lost his grip on the fastball there. Forgive me for just not being able to speak, but
You're all good, my friend. Yeah, he just really lost control there and can't afford to give up more runs here in this inning. And we were kind of talking about it mid-inning. If they give up even just a run here, the Bombers, they're not going to look back. And especially with Drummond on the mound, I know he had a lot of work there in that last half frame. They really made him work for it, but he's going to give you at least 4 solid. And if the Bombers continue, this game could be quickly over.
Clifford Pratt was punked by the first pitch he saw, did come around to score the first run of the game, though, and he's in a good situation with 2 quick runners on the base pass as another fastball misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. And Pratt started off the season pretty much exclusively in this spot in the order in the 2th hole. Moved down in the lineup, and it did wonders for his game as that one misses inside. 2-0. He's really come on in the last couple of games, hit the ball really well. 2 home runs in his last 5 games, 11 walks. That leads the league as the slider misses outside, count 3-0.
Yeah, and sometimes that really, really helps guys. Some guys are not comfortable with moving down in the order. I personally remember when I was playing, I always loved it because it builds your confidence back up. You see more fastballs down in the order, and you really start to hit the ball harder down there. And the next thing you know, you see the ball go through, find some grass, you build your confidence. The next thing you know, you're right back at the top, hitting with a lot of confidence and, you know, hitting the ball hard and doing all the things the right way.
And it certainly worked out for Pratt. That one is popped in the air in foul territory behind the plate. Carter Davis tries to make the grab, but is unsuccessful. Looks like he misjudged where that would land. Bounce right next to him, and now the count runs full.
Yeah, tough one there. That ball was skied high in the air, and that's not an easy play for Carter Davis, but you probably would have liked to see him get his body a little bit more turned there to have a better angle and make that play.
So the count is full to Pratt. Back in the 2 spot for the first time in the last couple of games. In a good position here, and he grounds this to second. This one could be a double play. Nieva flips onto the shortstop. Israel fires to first and gets the second out. So a double play takes Pratt and Taroka off the base pass, but it does move Bradley O'Neill to third. And there's 2 away now for Blake Freeman.
And there's Nieva, as we mentioned when he was at bat there in the last half frame. Showing off his defense there. It's second, a good side feed over there to Israel. He off the arm a little bit there and delivered a strike to Rankin.
So a 4-6-3 double play. And now Bradley O'Neal's 90 feet from being the fourth run as Freeman takes the first pitch for a strike. He had the first hit of the ball game for the Bombers, singled, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. Waves and misses does Freeman, and he's quickly down 0-2. That double play is giving Monroy some confidence. Monroy takes a quick look over at O'Neal at third, fires home the pitch, grounded right back to him by Freeman. Monroy takes a couple steps towards first base and flips it to Rankin to end off the inning. So the first two runners come on for the second straight frame, but the Bombers unable to bring anyone home. It's 3-0 after 2. Christian Busby will lead off the third inning for the Grizzlies. Busby was hit by a pitch, made it all the way to third base, but unable to score in the first inning, getting his second at bat of the game. Drummond sends in the fastball, just missing on the inside corner. Maybe a little bit high for Busby. Count is 1-0. Second pitch to Busby, around the same spot, but over the heart of the plate. Busby doesn't love the call, but count is even at 1-1. Busby is making some waves with his gloves lately. Some of the best plays defensively that we've seen from anyone in the Cal Winter League, including a home run robbery a couple days ago. 2-1 the pitch from Drummond, as Busby jammed and grounded over to third base. Caulfield, a rocket of a throw, and Cruz able to reach up and get it for the first down.
Almost sailed that over Cruz's head there. Caulfield just letting the ball go, and Cruz did a good job to keep it in front there. Good footwork around the back. Make sure that he made the play for the first out.
So one away here, and that will bring up the DH, Sean Lawler, who takes a look at ball one. Quiet on the infield here. And the second day of playoff action as Lawler lifts this into deep left field. And it's caught a couple steps in front of the track by Griffin Schneider, 2 away. And now Luke Drummond is a batter away from the first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
Thinking that he hasn't done it already or so. We've seen him go 1-2-3 in so many innings this year, but Grizzly making him work a little bit there in those first 2 frames, but now he looks like his original self out here in the third.
And Ross takes the first pitch swing, hits on the ground, bobbled by Caulfield, but he picks it up, fires into first, and gets Ross by a step. Great play by Caulfield, recovering from the infield miscue and getting the 3 out. So for the first time today, Luke Drummond goes 1, 2, 3, and the Bombers' lead remains 3-0 heading into the bottom of the third.
Schneider.
So Griffin Schneider will lead things off for the Bombers. Put all their 3 runs and 3 hits home in that first inning. A walk and a hit by pitch. Put 2 on the base back in the second as Schneider takes a look at strike 1. A breaking ball right over the plate from Arturo Monroy, who has calmed down quite a bit since that first inning. Did allow the walk and hit by pitch, but a double play ended things off for the Bombers as that one misses low, count 1-1. And that's kind of been the MO of most of these pitchers here. They might start off missing the zone a little bit more than usual, but once they get in their groove, these guys are as talented as anyone. Schneider fouls this one off the end of the bat, count 1-2. He struck out in the first inning. That strikeout did allow Freeman to move over to third, who would eventually score. So somewhat of a productive strikeout as the third strike was dropped by Carter Davis. 1-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? And it looks like he did. Davis tagging Schneider for safety. So the second strikeout for Schneider and also for Arturo Manuel.
Yeah, and I don't think I agreed with that one there. The home plate umpire, the one to ring him up. They really should
For the Bombers.
do the first base umpire who had a much
Number
better
23, Jacob Bruce.
Certainly looked like he went around, but pitch looked low, and it was a guaranteed call. So Cruz stepping up to the plate now. He walked and scored his last time up, and he is 1 ball closer to a second consecutive walk. 1-0 the count to him. Cruz walked on. Tried to just absolutely destroy that 3-0 pitch in that last at bat, and he sent this fastball from Monroy foul, count 1-1.
I'm a little surprised that for the Grizzly defensively they don't shift over a little bit more with Cruz up to bat.
You expect to see just a massive shift over to that right side, because that's where generously I'd say 90% of the balls he's hit have gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to even recall a ball that he's hit the other way, at least for a base hit. We've seen him ground out to the shortstop and third base area, but never a base hit that way.
And here's one hit the other way, but long foul. Count evens up at 2-2. That we've seen from just about everyone. But
yeah, we've seen the defensive shifting mostly from the A's. The Chill have done it as well. The Grizzly really just tend to play straight up the good old-fashioned way.
the outfield is slightly shifted towards Cruz's pole side as that one misses. Count fills up at 3-2. Infield, not really, though. There was more of a shift with Freeman on the base. his last time up when he walked, but now it looks like the infield's a pretty normal depth. Payoff pitch misses outside, and Cruz frustrated he didn't get a chance to do some damage at the plate. You gotta love that, but he is on first base with a walk for the second straight time.
I have never seen a player get more frustrated with taking a walk. When I was playing, I was like, whew, I will take the walk, I'll take it, I'll get on base. Time to go steal second, but man, Cruz is like, he needs like 6 balls in his count for it to be a walk, man. He does not like walking down to first.
He's just one of those guys that just loves crushing baseballs, and he does it better than a lot of other people that I've seen. A really strong power hitter that pulls side. And he's got another power hitter in the box right now, Felix Averette, as Cruz is looked back to first by Monroy. Averette drove in a run with a single his last time up. 1 pitch, misses low, count is 1-1. Averette, another guy who was in the All-Star game in the Frontier League this past season. Should be headed back there for the upcoming season as Cruz on his way to second base. Looked like he had a good enough jump, so I think we'll give him a stolen base on that wild pitch. And another wild one. So for Cruz, not a guy who steals a lot of bases, just his second of the season.
Just kind of occurred to me here. I think I've probably thought about it before, but for whatever reason, just really popped up to the top of my mind there watching Cruz run down to second there on the stolen base. On the base paths, he reminds me a lot of a younger Bryce Harper. Just his aggression and the way that the helmet's kind of bobbing up and down and his arms are really waving heavy, and just a really aggressive guy on the base paths. And he's also a very smart base runner as well.
2-2 pitch to Averette inside. Averette jumping out of the way. And the count is now 3-2. So Cruz taking a short lead off a second. May see him run on the payoff pitch. Monroy checks on Cruz at second base. In his stretch, fires home, and that is drilled down the left field line, but foul. So the count will stay 3-2, and Averette looks like he's given Monroy another frustrating defensive at bat here.
Yeah, and he won the first one with a lace single into left. And he's going to get a good fastball likely here on 3-2 and try to do some damage with it.
Payoff pitch again, misses low, ball 4. So 2 straight walks for Monroy and the Grizzly. And that will bring up Andrew Caulfield, who ambushed on 1 pitch and he misses it to left for a base hit.
Yeah, we're seeing the walks. Definitely hurting Monroy. He's going to have to allow his defense to work a little bit. Throw strikes in the zone here, especially at the bottom of the order. See if they can't get a double play ball. That would really swing some momentum for them going back into the dugout.
That is drilled into the gap in right center field, and that is going to bring home at least 1 run. Cruz chugging around third to score. Sliding into second is Caulfield. Staying on third is Felix Averette. So it's an RBI double from Andrew Caulfield, and the Bombers put another one on the board, 4-0.
Caulfield has Monroy's number. He's only seen 2 pitches in both of his at-bats, but he's done damage in both. In the first, and now the double here. In the third, an RBI. They're extending their lead here, and they're definitely not done with 1 away.
So 2 pitches, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Andrew Caulfield, gives him an even 10 on the season. As Smith laces this the opposite way into right field, and that's going to fall in front of McDougal for a base hit. Walking home is Averette. And Malcolm Smith thought about going to second base, but he will stay on first with an RBI single. So 2 straight pitches are laced for RBIs, and the score is up to 5-0 in favor of the Bombers.
Smith really didn't get all of that, but he got just enough. This ball was way out there from Anthony McDougal, who didn't really have a shot at it. Almost thought that Smith was going to head for second on a good aggressive turn, but he stays put there to keep the line moving here for Bradley O'Neill.
So O'Neill was plunked in his last at bat. That one misses low, count 1-0. So Andrew Caulfield on third, Malcolm Smith on first, still 1 out in the inning. Bombers have already brought home 2. Conroy checking on the runner at third. Smith off for second. The pitch is a swinging strike as the throw bounces away from Nick Israel. Or check that, that's Brandon Nieva. So it's a 1-1 count to O'Neill. Stolen base for Malcolm Smith. That's his 7th. And it's still 1 out, but 2 on, both in scoring position. Next pitch inside, count 2-1. O'Neill 4 for 21 on the season as the infield moves in to try and prevent the runners from thinking about going home on an infield ground ball. 2-1 pitch. Hit right up the middle for a base hit. Bradley O'Neill beats the infield moving in, and Malcolm Smith is going to stand up at home plate for the second run. So it's a 2 RBI base hit for Bradley O'Neill, and the Bombers' lead continues to grow. It is 7-0 now.
Talk about some good production at the bottom. The Bombers really rolling here. A 4 spot here in the third, and things are starting to look like they're going to get out of reach here real quickly on in just the bottom of the third.
So there's a man warming in the bullpen for the Grizzly. It's Michael Bono, the newest addition, part of that end of the season draft that you get from the losing teams in the playoffs. They have picked clean of their star players. Michael Bono, one of the better pitchers in the Cal Winter League. In a great
Batting for the Bombers, the center fielder, number 3, Yusei Taroka.
Plays Arturo Monroy. Good speed on first in O'Neill. Better speed at the plate in Taroka as he takes a look at ball 1. 0 for 1 is Taroka. He walked and grounded out to second base in his 2 at-bats. Next pitch misses wide from Monroy, and Carter Davis has made some really athletic plays behind the plate, able to make those long reaches on the balls that have missed from Monroy. So 2-0 to Taroka. O'Neill's lead slowly growing off of first base. The pitch inside. Taroka gets out of the way of it though. Count 3-0. Pitch, fastball right over the heart of the plate. Taroka thought it was high, but the count is 3-1.
Taroka getting some encouragement over there in the dugout.
Love to see that. The teammates get involved for one of their players, and another breaking ball gets over the heart of the plate. Monroy pumps in 2 straight strikes to fill up the count on Taroka. Good fan base out in here as well as that pitch misses wide, ball 4. So the second straight walk drawn by Taroka, 3rd of the inning, and we may be thinking about rolling this one over.
Yeah, especially if Pratt gets a base hit here or continues the inning, we likely will see Pratt dangerous two-hitter. Definitely the most dangerous two-hitter. He is sneaky pop in his bat. We've seen him leave the yard here in what is not an easy yard to leave.
We've seen him leave it twice. That one misses high, the fastball, count 1-0. He had that walk-off homer that just kept carrying for the Bombers. And the next game, he hit a bullet over around the same area. So 2 home runs. And Pratt doing it all on both sides of the field, offensively and defensively, to help these Bombers in their 9-game win streak. So 2-0 count, 2 runners on, just 1 out. 6 straight base runners allowed by Monroy after striking out Schneider to start the inning off. Pratt fouls away, and Monroy has his first strike of the at-bat, count 2-1. Might not see a double steal as Bradley O'Neill, the guy who's been on base a whole lot. As that one misses low, count is 3-1.
Good spot here to come out on 3-1. Monroy looking down thinking, oh boy, do I have to throw him a fastball here? But unfortunately, he's probably going to be forced to do so.
And a foul tip into the glove of Carter Davis. That'll fill up the count as it was 3-1, now 3-2.
He did get the fastball there, Pratt, just not able to barrel it up like he would have liked to.
Count is full. Monroy checks on the runner at second, fires home, and off the end of the bat goes Pratt, Nieva or Israel, and he'll fire to first base to Cole Rankin to end off the inning. So the second straight inning with a double play for the Bombers, but they still hang 4 runs on the Grizzly. 4 runs come home. It's a big lead for British Columbia, 7-0 after 3. Cole Rankin will step up to the plate as Luke Drummond on for his 4th inning of work. And still no one up in the Bombers bullpen just yet. Right on left matchup. Rankin 0 for 1, and now the count is 0-1 as he swings and misses. Comfortable hack. Rankin, a guy who always looks like he's just trying to drive the ball out of the ballpark. Certainly a player with big power over at first base. 0-1 pitch, fouled away off the end of the bat to the opposite field, down 0-2. He's got that kind of camo blue and black sleeve over his non-throwing arm. He's a lefty. He just likes the tightness and how it feels. As it helps him out there kind of focus and just be ready at the plate. So he takes a look at a 1-2. At an 0-2 pitch, now the count is 1-2. Drummond working quickly from the stretch, deals, and that is sliced down the left field line and tailing foul. And out of play, count remains 1-2. Solid at bat from Rankin, a lot of fouled away pitches. And Drummond ready for the 1-2 again. He deals. Hit on the ground right to the third baseman, picked up on a couple of hops by Caulfield, who sends it across the diamond for the first down. A routine 5-3 ground out, and 1 away here in the 4th. I'll bring up Travis Tanaka.
Now batting for the Grizzly, third baseman, number 10, Travis Tanaka.
Double back in the 2nd. The 2nd hit of the ball game. Both base hits so far for the Grizzly have been of the 2-bag persuasion. As Tanaka takes a look at a fastball, but settles in at the knees to make it 0-1. Tanaka, a very versatile player for the Grizzly, able to play in the corner outfield spots, third base, and catch as he sends this one foul down the right field line. Count is 0-2. Catcher and third base have been the primary traditions for the Hawaiian. A player from Hawaii at the Cal Winter League this year. got a good arm behind the plate. Solid bat as well. 0-2. Fastball high, count 1-2. Couple of clutch doubles for the Grizzly this season. Gap-to-gap guy. As Drummond deals the 1-2. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. Not something we've seen a whole lot of for Drummond, who usually just piles on the strikeouts. But that is just the
37 for the Grizzly.
for
The catcher, number 12,
fourth.
Carter
Davis. Davis walked his first time up. Looking to get on base a different way here. First pitch to Davis from Drummond is a fastball that just catches the letters of Carter Davis's jersey. Green versus yellow on the field today as Drummond from the stretch sends the 0-1 pitch in and misses low. Count is now 1-1. You don't see a lot of starters who pitch exclusively from the stretch, but that is Drummond pitching from just about dead center of the mound, maybe slightly closer to that first base side. 1-1. Right off the end of the bat and foul into the netting. Count 1-2 to Davis. And Bono continues his warm-up for the Grizzly. Mona pen for the Bombers. 1-2 pitch. In off the end of the bat on a soft liner right to the second baseman and making the grab is Bradley O'Neill. So another 1-2-3 for Luke Drummond. He is retired. The last 9 batters he has faced. We're halfway home here in Palm Springs Stadium. The Bombers lead it 7-0. New pitcher on the mound for a new team. Michael Bowman started the season as a Lumberjack, and after the Grizzly took them down in the first game of the playoffs, Lumberjack was moved over to the Grizzly. A solid season for Bono so far. Can be erratic at times. When that fastball is working, he is borderline untouchable. In his last start for the Jacks, he took a perfect game into the 4th inning. some of the best stuff in the Cal Winter League so far this season, as he takes over for Arturo Monroy and has a 2-strike count on Blake Freeman, 0-2. So Monroy's in line for the loss. 7 runs across the plate, all earned on 6 hits in 3 innings, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Bono deals, swing and a miss. Didn't look like Freeman got the towel tip. And he walks back to the dugout with his first strikeout of the day. So Bono strikes out the first batter he sees on 3 pitches. The dangerous part of the Mariners order continues. Schneider, who has twice, one player that Monroy struck out. And Bono is looking to give him a third as the first pitch misses for the first ball of the day by Bono. Bono, a guy who played in the Reds organization for a year back in 2018. This is low. Count is 2-0. 2017, excuse me. Bono, the 32nd round pick of the Reds. Fastball, a curve, and a change from the right-hander as that one misses outside. So 3 straight strikes in the first at bat. Now 3 straight balls to Griffin Snyder. Bono settles himself from the stretch, deals. Fastball just misses low. Just a hair below the knees of Schneider. So a 3-pitch strikeout followed up by a 4-pitch ball for the Bombers.
First baseman, number 23.
Cruz, who we know he certainly does not want to walk again, especially with the runner on at first here. Cruz has already walked twice. He's not been happy with that outcome. He's going to try to do some damage with the bat this time around.
And that pitch misses, so 5 straight balls for Bono. Bruce getting a first pitch ball for the 3rd straight time. 1-0 the count, short lead at first by Schneider as Bruce swings and fouls that one back. 1-1 the count to him. Bruce 2 walks, as you said, Mitch. 2 runs scored, though, and a stolen base as well. So nothing hitting-wise in the stat book, but a solid game so far for the power-hitting first baseman. 1-1 pitch, wave and a whiff, strike 2. As Cruz can't connect on the breaking ball, looking for that heater by Bono, but does not get it.
Looked like maybe a change up there from Bono to fool Cruz, waved right over the top of it.
And he takes the fastball inside, evening up the count at 2-2. Two pitch from Bono, sliced foul over the netting. Count will stay at 2-2.
You can definitely tell that Cruz has seen the ball well today, obviously with 2 walks, and now he's given every at-bat a great effort. Really made both Monroy and now Bono work.
Bono is a 2-2 record, 5.25 ERA as Cruz fouls another one away. Count stays 2-2. 13 innings pitched as Bono's primarily been a reliever, just 2 starts for him. 13 walks, 21 strikeouts, 8 hits allowed. So averages a little over 1 base runner per inning, but closer to 2 strikeouts per inning. And that one is hit on the ground and fouled down the right field line. 3 straight balls fouled back by Jacob Cruz, and the count stays at 2-2. Cruz not really focusing on the runner at first base as Schneider has speed, but not a huge threat to steal. 2-2, sliced again, high in the air, down the left field line. Tracking into foul territory is Tanaka, but he's going to let that hit the bleachers. So another foul ball by Cruz, really making Michael Bono work for this. It's got to be frustrating for the 6'2" right-hander.
Yeah, he's about to see the 9th pitch in the at-bat here. A bunch of foul balls, and we've seen it time and time and again in the game of baseball. When you hang in there, you battle. More often than not, it feels like the hitter always comes out on top.
So the count's still 2-2 to Cruz. Schneider is taking a short lead off of first. Bono sends the 2-2 pitch in, and guess what? It's fouled back again. 5 straight balls fouled away by Jacob Cruz. We still have a 2-2 count.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. The more pitches you see, obviously you've seen everything in his arsenal. You know what everything looks like. You picked up that release point. See if you can pick up a base hit here.
The 2-2 once again. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. Big defensive at bat for Cruz, but can't catch up to the high heat on the 3rd strike. So Michael Bono has struck out 2 batters, both swinging. Now Felix and Brett trying to make some
picture perfect fastball there. Cruz obviously looking for the heater, and he knows he can do all of his damage on the fastball, but they are just up and in, and he couldn't catch up.
That pitch upstairs from Bono, count 1-0 on the fastball. Aberrant has provided a run either by scoring or driving it in each of his 2 at-bats. Walked and singled. And an RBI single in that last inning as that pitch misses, and Griffin Schneider will walk to second base on the wild pitch. So Bono a little too much on the fastball there. Gets it far behind Carter Davis. And it's a 2-0 count, 2 away with a runner on second base. But Bono, not a guy who will spend too much time taking a look at the runners, mostly focusing on the hitter. 2-0 pitch inside the fastball, count 3-0. Bono, a guy who relies heavily on that fastball. It has got him signed already as he'll be in the Pioneer League, but missing a little bit here to Aberrant. 3-0 pitch, the fastball just high, and that is ball 4. So a strikeout and a walk are the alternating at-bats for Bono as Carter Davis is going to come out to talk to his pitcher.
We're seeing a little bit of a different feel really from the Bombers offensively. Normally they pretty much go after early count pitches to put the ball in play, but really today all of them working long pitch at bats, really making both Bono and Mondo every pitch and every out. It has worked out very well for them today. They all look very patient at the plate, not trying to do too much, just being themselves up there.
And Andrew Caulfield up the plate now. He has swung at the only 2 pitches he's seen. We'll see if he does so here. He swings at it, but at this time it lands foul. Count 0-1. Caulfield, an RBI single and an RBI double in his 2 plate appearances. He's got 2 runners on, Aberrant and Schneider, both on the lower end of average speed-wise. Still enough, as I think a double would definitely score 1 run, perhaps 2 for Caulfield, as the count is 0-2 to him after he fouled another pitch back. And that's been the Bombers today. As you said, they're usually guys that just straight up attack pitches, but today it's been about fouling pitches off and extending the innings and the at-bats for the pitchers as Bono waits the curveball inside, count 1-2.
Yeah, they're really just grinding away these at-bats, and makes it so difficult for the pitcher when you just can't feel like you're getting anybody out in an efficient way.
1-2, fastball high, count 2-2. And it seems like the Bombers as a team have more foul balls than swing and misses. So they're just constantly making contact with the ball, and that can't be easy to deal with if you're a hurler. 2-2. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. So the walk and strikeout alternation continues as Bono strikes out 3 and walks 2 in his first inning of work. So no runs score for the Bombers as Bono provides a scoreless 4th where he strikes out the side, and Drummond should be out to try and do the same for the Bombers. 1 leading off the 5th inning as Luke Drummond looks like he'll be uninterrupted on the bump. Still no runs, 2 hits for him as he takes the first pitch in. Nieva watches it go outside for ball 1. Nieva struck out in his only plate appearance back in the 2nd. And there's one more strike for Drummond. 1-1 the count. Got Nieva on a full count after getting Carter Davis to walk on the same full count back in the 2nd. Looking for a much less painful at bat as Nieva swings and misses at a high fastball again, and that has been fooling him all day long from Drummond. So 1-2 the pitch. Drummond from the stretch kicks and deals, fouled right back by Nieva, and we'll do it again.
Drummond trying to get through this frame, the 5th here. This could likely be his last inning of work. You know, we'll see if they let him go out for 6 possibly, given that this is his last start of the year.
Nieva fouls another one back. Count is now 1-2.
That'll be something to pay attention to should the Bombers go on to win this one, the championship game. It looks like they'll line up for USADO to be on the mound for that one.
1-2 pitch, curveball in there for called strike 3. For the 2nd straight time, Brandon Nieva is out on the way of a strikeout. This time looking, it's number 3
Grizzly.
and the 10th straight batter who's recorded.
Number 25.
Really finding his rhythms. Like you mentioned, Josh, he's working more efficiently now. The 1st and 2nd frames, he looked a little erratic, but he definitely calmed himself down, and he's looked like the old Luke Drummond here in the past couple of frames.
First pitch, a high fastball to Anthony McDougal that misses upstairs. Count 1-0. Nick Israel in the on-deck circle for the Grizzly. 1-0. Check swing, but got some contact and fouled that one right into the netting. Count evens up at 1-1. McDougal lined out to right field in his last time up back in the 2nd inning. And Drummond deals the 1-1. Fastball high, count is 2-1. Talked about it, especially with Drummond missing on the fastball, is not something he's seen a lot. One of the more inconsistent days in terms of throwing that fastball from Drummond, but still he is getting the job done on the mound. 2-1. Fastball again missing high, count 3-1.
Yeah, not one to typically miss with the fastball. Him and Scamboluri, 2 of the most efficient pitchers here, but he's shown some signs of non-efficiency, missing the zone where he attacks it again. But
another high fastball from Drummond. This time it clips the outside corner. The count runs full at 3-2. From the stretch, Drummond deals, wave and a whiff, strike 3. 2 straight punch-outs to start off the 5th inning. He is looking as good as ever to start off his 5th frame.
yeah, and he has now sat down a ton of hitters in the row. And he's gone 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd and 4th, 2 up, 2 down. So for these guys and the Grizzly right now, there's no answer. They're trying to search for any sort of life at the plate.
Now the lineup resets, and Nick Israel is the hitter. He takes strike 1. And you also forgot that Drummond recorded the last 2 outs, as that one falls in for strike 2 to Israel. Recorded the last 3 outs of that 2nd inning when Tanaka and Davis led off with a double and a walk. So 11 straight hitters retired by Drummond. Hoping to make it 12 with Israel on an 0-2 count, and he does. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. Luke Drummond with the best inning he's had so far today, striking out the side. And the Bombers are in control, 7-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th. So Malcolm Smith, the designated hitter, great job of hitting in his last at bat. RBI single. Stolen base and a run scored. But he swings and misses at the first pitch. A fastball from Michael Bono. 0-1 the count to him. 7-0. 3 runs in the first, 4 in the third for the Bombers. And that is how they have their lead. Hit on the ground to second base, fielded on a pair of hops. It looks like a new second baseman has come in for the Grizzly. That is Jacob McGinnis. As we're going to have to take you through a whole new lineup for the Grizzly, it looks like. It's Nick Kreutzer at first, Jacob McGinnis at second base. Daisuke Fukuda is in a
Second baseman, number 22,
stay at
Bradley O'Neal.
and I can't tell who the corner outfielders are just yet. Looks like McDougal is staying in right, and Russ is probably staying out in left. Keep you updated as we see as the first pitch that Bradley O'Neal is in there, missing low for a ball. Misters on in the ballpark. It is another hot day here in Palm Springs. 2-0 count to Bradley O'Neal. 80 degrees already here in the early morning at Palm Springs Stadium. Hit on a high chopper over to the second baseman, but it's Fukuda that fields it right next to the second base bag. Makes a great throw on the run to get the out.
How about the pick over there by Nick Kreutzer, too? Man, on the backhand, extending out. It really...
Now batting in the top of the inning with 2 outs. The leadoff hitter,
Yeah, the leg
and
play
center
for
fielder,
Fukuda, too.
number
On the
3,
high chop.
Yusei Teruoka.
The infield.
And really, he's been one of the most impressive players in terms of fielding, especially at that shortstop position, as you say, Teruoka, takes the first pitch for a strike. So Bono from the stretch deals inside as Teruoka, jumps out of the way, making the count 1-1. I think the right and left fielders have remained the same again for the Grizzly. As we mentioned, the new defensive lineman. Davis still catching. He catches that ball low. Count 2-1. Not a lot of changes for the Bombers. Tom Vade likes to keep his same lineup for the entirety of the game. Rarely will use a pinch hitter as Teruoka fouls that one back. Count 2-2 now.
Teruoka working on 3 really good at-bats. A couple of walks, doing his thing at the top as he always does, finding his way on base.
Those last 2 walks met by Clifford Pratt double plays as Teruoka slices another one foul. Count 2-2. Teruoka doing exactly what you want a leadoff man to do, and that is get on base. He does that very well. And it's been so important to this Bombers run. Bono deals the 2-2. Outside and bouncing away from Carter Davis. I thought for a second that they called that a strike 3, but Teruoka just getting a mask for Davis there as the count fills up at 3-2. I love the camaraderie, the sportsmanship that you see here in the Cal Winter League. Not a lot of guys giving anyone a lot of flack if they don't do well. You don't see you see maybe friendly rivalries, but for the most part, it's just all one big cohesive group as Teruoka steps out of the batter's box.
As it should be as well. That's what these guys come out here for. Obviously the baseball, but good camaraderie as well, making friends along the way.
And hit on the ground up the middle. Fukuda tries to make the play, but just goes under his glove. So that's going to be the first error of the game for anyone, and Teraoka is on first with 2 outs.
And Teraoka's speed, pretty much the reason why he made that error. Fukuda, normally you'd get around that ball and just feel that, the routine way, get around it and feel that, with both hands. But with Teraoka's speed, he knows that. And tries to feel the one hand charging in on it. Couldn't get his glove all the way down on the ball.
And now Clifford Pratt, a shortstop, sends the first pitch out deep into center field. On the run, giving chase is Littman, and he's going to let this one hop off the wall. One bounce off the track, one bounce off the wall as Littman throws into the cutoff man, Fukuda. And you say Teraoka glides into home plate with a run. The first unearned run of the game. And it's a 2-out double for Clifford Pratt. 8-0 the lead for the Bombers.
Pratt with an absolute bullet out to center field there. And it looks like Littman out there who just didn't have a chance. He was probably playing a little bit too shallow. And that ball just burned in. No chance to make that play. One hops the wall. Pratt was unlucky in his last 2 at-bats, grounding into 2 double plays, but he makes up for it there with the RBI double.
And Pratt, deceptive power as he still is on the thinner side. As Blake Freeman awaits the first pitch from Bono, he gets it, swings and misses, strike 1. And now Jackson Decker is warming up for the Alberta Grizzly. Oh, 1, fouled away by Freeman, count 0-2. Pratt, 5'11", 185, but still a surprising amount of pop in his bat. Freeman, another guy at that level in terms of sneaky power, 6'1", 195. Bono pauses, deals, wave and a whiff, strike 3, but it's dropped by Davis. He picks it up cleanly and sends it over to Nick Kreutzer at first base. So the error and the double put a run across the board for the Bombers, excuse me. And the score is now 8-0 heading into the 6th. So Alex Littman leading off. A straight swap for Christian Busby, it looks like, as the first pitch to him is in there for strike 1. As the onslaught of substitutions is coming in. It should be, looks like it's still Lawler on deck as Littman swings at strike 2. So 0-2 count to him. And it is DC Russ still at still at left field as he is waiting in the hole. 1-2 count to Littman now as the ball misses outside from Luke Drummond, who is still unopposed on the mound 2-hit shutout for him as Littman checks that into shallow right field, but foul. Count 1-2. No one warming up in the Bombers bullpen as of yet, and why should they be? Drummond has not allowed a hit since a double in the second inning. Not allowed a base runner for that matter since that time either.
And we were talking in between the innings there that it's a good time for him to empty the tank here.
Late strike 3 called from the home plate umpire. So Littman down on strikes in his first at bat, and now that'll bring up Sean Lawler.
That's now 4 consecutive strikeouts
For the Grizzly.
for Luke Drummond.
Designated hitter,
As mentioned,
number 32,
his last start, he
Sean
really just
Lawler.
I'd be surprised, honestly, if he goes a full 7 here today.
We've only seen it twice before. Jesse Galindo went 6 2/3 before the Grizzly walked off on him last week. And now it's a 1-0 count to Sean Lawler. Drummond deals. Hit high in the air and foul down the left field line. 1-1 the count. Lawler 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to center and left. DC Russ in the on-deck circle. Nick Kreutzer at first base. In the hole. 1-1. Line foul again into the netting for Lawler. Count is 1-2.
Drummond still showing life on that fastball as we get into the later stages of this game. Still has that good zip on it, though. He uses his body so well in his mechanics.
And called strike 3. Lawler knew it, but just didn't want to believe it. That one over the heart of the plate. And make that 5 straight punch-outs for Luke Drummond. He is just getting better as this game goes on.
Yeah, and Lawler right there was definitely looking breaking
Number
ball.
34,
As you know, he blinks and that moves right by him for strike 3.
So DC Russ up to the plate. The Bombers looking for their 3rd shutout of the season. Still an inning to go here as Russ takes a look at ball 1. Russ 1 for 2 on the day. Had the first hit of the game for the Grizzly and for the Bombers. The Grizzly are the road team. He doubled back in the first, but 1 for 2. Count now 1-1 as he looks at the outdoor fastball. Count all even at 1. 8 runs on 7 hits for the Bombers. Shutting out the Grizzly right now, and Luke Drummond's a big reason why. Beautiful curveball going inside to kind of over the heart of the plate, and that fools Russ to make it a 1-2 count. Working quickly from the stretch. Here's the pitch from Drummond, wasting a slider. Now 2-2.
Been real efficient with that fastball late. Worked out of those kinks in the first 2 innings, and he has been on top of his game. Looking for the 6th punch out in a row here.
And he gets it. Wave and a whiff. Strike 3. 2 straight innings. Luke Drummond striking out the side. I think we can safely pencil him in for that 7th inning. And the Bombers in complete control here. 8-0 through 6.5. 4, 5, and 6. Heart of the order coming up for the Bombers as they face a new pitcher in Jackson Decker. Got the victory and a near complete game against the Jacks. Well, we did get a complete game, actually. Just gave up 2 runs in those 7 innings. And the Jacks almost had a comeback, but Decker able to hold them off. He's got an 0-1 count to the dangerous Griffin Schneider. 7 extra base hits for him on the year. 4 doubles, 3 triples. And 1-1 count now. Decker, the 6'4" right-hander, pitching from the stretch, deals. Just catching the outside corner with the heat, count 1-2. 2-0 is Decker. This is his 11th appearance, 8 coming in relief. 1 save in 25 2/3 innings, struck out 21. More strikeouts than hits. He has only given up 20 hits, and that one fouled back by Schneider. Count remains 1-2. Just 6 walk as well, so Decker really efficient on the mound, and he's been a workhorse lately for the Grizzly.
Yeah, and he got up here in the booth, talked to us for a while, talked about his stuff and how he's tweaked it over the years, going from more of a strikeout guy to a pitch to contact type of guy.
Really like to hear guys talk about how they adapted their game to their age, just changing times and everything like that. And Decker really seems to have been at the forefront of that for himself.
Baseball is the ultimate game of adjustments and adjusting on the fly. Decker has proven that time and time again.
2-2 pitch hit high in the air out to shallow center field. It's going to roll on the infield dirt, and Jacob McInnes tracks it down to make the 2-handed grab for out number 1.
Good pitch there from Decker. He was talking to us about how he really has fallen in love with that sinker that he has. Really, that's what you would likely term as a
Number 23.
another way to describe it. Good breaking ball as well. I mean, really attacks these hitters with a plan, and you can tell he's a very smart pitcher.
And he said in that interview that he prefers to get those ground ball outs, really lives for pitching to contact. And he does it very well as he got the weak contact in the last at bat. 1-0 the count now to Jacob Cruz, number 5 hitter. The pitch sliced foul into the stands, count 1-1. Cruz had the longest at bat of anyone, a 9-pitch at bat back in the 4th inning against and Michael Bono, but ended up striking out on that 9th pitch, or that 10th pitch, I should say. 1-1. Outside, Davis tried to frame it, but won't get that one. 2-1 the count now to Cruz.
Feeling a Cruz unload here in the hitters count. We haven't seen it much so far today.
A lot of really hard hit balls as Cruz slices that foul, count even at 2-2. No hit larger than a double. Those are the only 2 hits from the Grizzly. Andrew Caulfield had an RBI double back in the 3rd as well. Decker from his wind, pitching on the 3rd base side of the rubber, deals. Bouncing low on the breaking ball, and the count runs full.
Trying to get a good 3-2 fastball here for Cruz. He's going to look to be all over it. You know, he does not want to walk again in this game.
Yeah, we talked about just how upset he gets at the walk, and honestly, I kind of love seeing that. It shows his dedication, his passion. That is such an important quality to have. Payoff pitch. Hammered right down the right field line for a base hit. That one going pretty far, and it's bobbled by McDougal. He's going to head to second, and Jacob Cruz slides into second base on a 1-out double.
Good job there from Cruz, and again, showing off the aggressive base running. It pays off from there. It looks like Dre Jones is going to come in to replace him, so Cruz's day will be done. Nice time.
From the Bombers,
He was
the 6th inning with 1 out. For the catcher,
Absolutely.
number 31.
It is Dre Jones at second base now. Jones with some experience playing at first. He should be able to just make that a straight swap. As Aberrett sends it into the stands, count 0. Walk walk in his last 2 at-bats, did Alberta. Also singled in a run back in the first. The pitch misses low, count 1-1. Alberta walked twice, singled, drove in a run, and scored 1. So he's still 1 for 1 on the day, has a dangerous spot with a runner on scoring position to try and move another run in. 2-1 to count now. And hitters count again for Alberta. Just like you saw the infield shifting over a little bit to that right side for Cruz. It's the left side of Alberta where he gets his pull power, and boy does he have a lot of it. Has the highest recorded exit velocity this season, according to Steve Bronack in Flight Scope, as he spits on a fastball, but he catches the plate for strike 2. Decker from the third base side of the rubber, not taking much of a look over at second, focusing on Alberta at the plate, deals the curveball low and inside, count fills up at 3-2.
Dangerous time here for Alberta at the plate, who has seen the ball exceptionally well today. 2 walks in the single. He's going to look to pummel this 3-2 fastball that Decker will likely bring.
Decker deals, hard hit but foul. Count now full still.
He did go to that fastball, Alberta all over it, but just a little bit out in front.
So 18 pitches so far in the inning for Decker, still 1 out, and a runner on second base. The payoff coming to Alberta. Alberta takes a look, and he'll head over to first base with his 3rd straight walk. So Drummond's been striking everybody out, and Alberta has been walking quite a lot. Never had this many walks in a game in the count.
In the bottom of the 6th with 1 out.
And that's kind of how we highlighted the start of the podcast, Josh, was that Grizzly allow too many free passes. They passes of no shot, and we've seen that come into effect here throughout the game. They've issued way too many free passes, and in turn, it's kind of turned into a non-competitive game here in the late goings.
Yeah, that one misses, gets away from Davis, but Alberta will stay at first base. 1-0 the count to Andrew Caulfield, who had a hit and drove in a run in each of his first 2 at-bats, single and a double, but then struck out facing off against Michael Bono.
Decker really taking his time out there on the hill. It looks comfortable, but for whatever reason, just really taking his time.
1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Out ahead of that breaking ball was Caulfield. Decker even himself says he's not a guy who pitches for strikeouts, but strikeout stuff certainly looks like it's working. Hard sinker here on that 1-0 pitch. Now the 1-1. Fouled away off the end of the bat and out of play. Didn't look like any of the show players were warming up in that batting cage down on right field.
Power out in left field, getting their hacks in. Both of those teams ready to rock and roll in game 2.
1-2. Breaking ball just barely misses low on Andrew Caulfield. And it is now 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 outs, or 2 on, 1 out, and that's ripped foul by Caulfield. Down that right field line, and good to see you, Sato, getting his exercise and sprinting after that baseball.
I was going to say, he is all over that thing. Looked like a golden retriever playing fetch out there, just sprinting immediately. Oh, baseball, got it.
I want to do that. I want to play fetch with a golden retriever right now. That sounds great. 2-2. High in the air out into shallow center field. Coming on is the center fielder Lippman. McGinnis calls everyone off to make the two-handed squeeze for the second out. So McGinnis with 2 putouts in this inning, both by the way of pop-ups. Good awareness of where he and his teammates are on the field.
Now batting for the Bombers.
Decide whether or not
The
to take
designated hitter.
but he made the right decision.
Number 1, Malcolm Smith.
Now the DH, Malcolm Smith, a guy who's really proud of his speed and has stolen a base already. The fastball from Decker misses high, count 1-0. A 4-seam, sinker, changeup, and a curve for Decker. The 4 pitches he throws. There's the curveball, and it's in there for strike number 1. Malcolm Smith is now already tied for the most pitches he's seen in an at-bat. Never swung later than the second pitch to put a ball in play. He swings there, but it misses foul. Count 1-2.
Smith typically in center field. Just shows you quite the luxury the Bombers have, that he can be the designated hitter and they still have Taroka to hold it down defensively out in center.
Long pause from Decker. The 1-2 pitch, sliced foul. Count will stay 1-2.
And again, another long at bat here. These Bombers today, they have really, really made the Grizzly work.
You can tell they want to be here. They want to be in that championship game tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'll be on the call with Andres Tejeda for that one. Andres will be taking my spot for the second game, the Battle of Palm Springs, the power versus the chill. That one misses outside again. Curveball wasted by Decker. Count is now 2-2.
And if the Bombers can do this to whoever they play in that championship game, they're going to be sitting real pretty in that one.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the biggest contributing factors to their soon-to-be 10-game win streak. As Smith takes a look at strike 3 on the outside corner. Great pitch by Decker to end off the inning. And that will do it for the Bombers here in the second.
As you're looking at it, I want to try to
But they
located in Palm Springs.
the 7th. Last chance for the Grizzly, and the Bombers put some new defensive reinforcements in behind Drummond, who's looking for his first complete game. The first pitch is a strike to Nick Kreutzer, making his first at bat after coming in for Cole Rankin in the 5th. Dre Jones replaces Cruz after he pinch ran for him in the last inning, as the 0-1 pitch misses outside, count 1-1. Keyshawn Clark is in at second base, replacing Bradley O'Neill. Brett Donady in at third, replacing Andrew Caulfield. Now just 3 defensive substitutions, and a nasty curveball tricks Kreutzer. He does not swing, but it's 1-2. That one going outside to inside on the left-handed hitter. Drummond, the 1-2 pitch, outside again. This time the fastball doesn't cut back in. Count is now 2-2. Good 4-pitch mix for Drummond. That curveball looks like a slider, and that one is going to get by Kreutzer. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Luke Drummond has now struck out the last 7 batters.
For the Grizzly, third baseman,
Kidding me.
number 10,
Fastball there. Kreutzer, my goodness, he's just on an absolute tear ever since that second frame. He has set down everybody since those last 2 final outs, the 3 outs, I should say, in the second.
Yeah, the last player to reach base for the Grizzly was Carter Davis on a full count walk back in the second inning. And put 2 runners on the bases, and that was all it took. Drummond just was shut down, lights out, any way you want to say it. Drummond has just dominated since then, one of the best starts we've seen. 2 hits on the board for the Grizzly. Both came in the first 2 innings as Tanaka hits it off the end of the bat and fouled, count 1-2. Drummond retired every batter since that second inning. So that's 15 straight. And make it 16 with the strikeout. Last 7 retired by strikeouts. Could this fall in for Tanaka? Teraoka on the play, making a catch after sprinting to his left. Great route from Yusei Teraoka, and now the Grizzlies are down to their final out.
Good route there from the center fielder, like you mentioned.
97 for the Grizzly,
Speed.
the catcher, number 12,
He just gave it full last couple of strides. Just a nice direct route to the ball. No banana route. Just a nice straight line.
And that will bring up Carter Davis, and he sends the first pitch, dribbling over to Dre Jones at first. He fields it and takes it to the bag himself, and that will do it. Moves to Drummond, a dominant finish to this game, and the Bombers in complete control from the get-go. They take down the Grizzly by a score of 8-0. Net just an absolute performance in every facet of the game there.
Just a complete game from the
victorious British Columbia Bombers.
What more can you say? 10 strikeouts for the righty, who has just dominated all the
California Winter League is back in action for our next and final game of the day. And they have the Palm Springs Showdown. It's the Palm Springs Chill and Palm Springs Power.
Damage with the
First pitch is coming up soon. We'll see you all back here shortly for our California Winter League semifinal playoff baseball.
Good sound baseball all around. And you got a guy like Drummond who is able to adapt there. He struggled a little bit in the first and second, but adapted and just got better as this game along. We're going to have a ton of success, and the Bombers pretty much just walked away with this one really unfazed, and we kind of expected it. We thought the Grizzly would give more of a battle, more of a scratching claw effort, but just not enough when you have Luke Drummond on the mound, just motoring through hitters.
Motoring is absolutely right. 10 strikeouts, breaking the double-digit plateau for the second time this season for him. Him and Scambolery are the only 2 players with double-digit strikeouts in the game this season to Cal Winter League. So Drummond gets the victory, his 3rd, and Arturo Monroy his 3rd loss, dropping to 0-3. That is going to do it for the Grizzly in the season, but the Bombers will await the result of our next game. In about half an hour, we'll have the Battle of of Palm Springs. The third-seeded Chill take on the second-seeded Power right here at Steel Palm Springs Stadium. You can catch it live on YouTube when you're done. For Mitch Glessner, I'm Josh Sperber. We hope to see you guys in half an hour for the second game of our final doubleheader.